This episode is sponsored by Lines, the new mobile wait time application from touringplans.com. Visit it at m.touringplans.com and you'll see predicted and actual wait times for all 4 Disney parks, plus FastPass distribution times, as well as predicted crowd wait times over the next 2 hours. We'll also tell you interesting things like when FastPass is expected to run out for the rest of the day, and lots of other useful information, including park hours, extra magic hours, and crowd level predictions. So visit m.touringplans.com for more information.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Monday, November 16th, 2009, and this is episode 645 of WDW Today. I'm Matt Hotchford of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Mike Scopa, a senior feature writer and blogger for allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
You can enjoy our view of 20th century aviation here at Dreamflight, presented by Delta Airlines.
Let's wonder.
Wow. Muppets.
Splashtacular.
Yeah. Great movie.
Surprise in the Sky.
Nope.
The
No,
monorail.
you're all wrong. All wrong.
Can't imagine we'd be wrong on that one.
You're wrong.
Also joining us on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome to the show, Mike.
I was so close getting that one too.
Nobody's guessed it yet.
Another minute, I would have had it.
Just a bit outside, Mike.
Load away.
Nobody got it. I don't know what you guys are talking about. No one has guessed it.
Dreamflight?
Buzz Lightyear.
No.
Tomorrowland Transit Authority.
It's the Wedway when Buzz Lightyear was flooded.
That was a trick question.
Wow. I never liked him anyway.
Buzz or Matt?
Mike. That was just Mike, actually. It was pretty funny.
Also joining us on today's show is Len Testa, co-author of the Initial Guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome to the show, Len.
Matt, my new nickname for you is Baby Cakes.
I prefer mine for you is Pound Cake,
Moving on.
which is it's a Van Halen song. Come on.
Moving
That's
on.
fine. That's fine. All right.
On today's show, what are we talking about, Scopo? I don't even know how to intro this. So this is all you. Like, why don't you introduce this?
All right, everybody,
good
listen
Lord.
up.
Go ahead.
Listen up.
Take a swig and here we go.
Anyone who's been to Walt Disney World knows that there are so many attractions you can do, so many things, and you've done them for so many times, but have you ever thought about what would be the most challenging thing to do on an attraction? And that's what we're going to talk about. Things that you may have a difficult time doing on certain attractions, and I think it should be a fun topic.
All right. Well, why don't you start us off there to clear exactly what we're talking about? Give us an example of one of those, Mike.
Okay, here we are in Disney Hollywood Studios, and we're walking down Sunset Boulevard, and there's Rock and Roller Coaster and there's Tower of Terror. Okay, let's all go on the Tower of Terror. We go through. We're in the library. Bum bum bum. Go through the boiler room. Get on the elevator, and we get to the top. We're going through the fifth dimension or whatever that's called, and just as we hit the outside, we start saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and we try to say the Pledge of Allegiance during the entire drop sequence. Can it be done? I don't know if it can be done, but it's something that I want to try next time.
We'll try doing it while Mike Newell is punching you for being on the ride.
You mean for the from the top of the ride? So when you get
I pledge the allegiance to the flag. I see it.
The person next to you is going to think you have Tourette's.
Patriotic threats. What's one?
Rain Man. Yeah.
I think one fun thing to do is if you could pull it off, it takes a little bit of advanced prep work, is announce the names of the presidents and Hall of Presidents before the announcer does. Grover Cleveland.
That would be actually one thing that.
Go ahead.
I was going to say one thing that on Big Thunder Mountain, actually, to change it up a little bit, try riding the ride backwards. What I mean by that is you turn around in your seat so you're facing backwards, and it gives a whole different dimension to the ride.
Yes.
Really? I've never done that. That sounds like
Yes.
fun.
Yeah, one of a cast member had told me about that, and say it actually is. It makes the ride totally different, and it is kind of difficult to do
How do you-
because
how do you do
firstly
it?
it looks stupid turning around, but also because
That's never
it's,
stopped us before, like, even on a day-to-day
What about
basis.
the people sitting
touche.
behind you?
yeah.
Yeah. So
touche.
wait, would you have to sit in the back of the train?
No,
or
you
would
can
that be-
sit anywhere. You just pivot
Well,
yourself.
that's just a little weird, dude. If you're sitting in front of the train looking back.
But you just turn around and you try to watch it, especially when you go on those camel humps over there. It really it makes it pretty interesting because you can't see what's coming. Also,
Well, yeah, that's because you're backwards, right?
exactly.
All right, cool. That's a good tip. I liked it a lot.
Scopa.
Let's see. How about let's go to the Magic Kingdom, and we're in Mickey's Philhar Magic, and we are at the part in the
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast, I believe, and all of a sudden the champagne bottles start popping and the brooms, and also at the Sorcerer's Apprentice segment, try to keep your eyes open during the champagne bottles popping and the brooms throwing water at you.
Well, along the same line, Mike, how about on Rock and Roller Coaster during the launch, keeping your eyes open? It's pretty tough with all that
jeez.
wind coming in.
Oh my God! Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard keeping my lunch down. Forget that.
Let alone.
that's my breath.
Right.
That's funny.
Who's got another one?
At Jungle Cruise, you could ask questions that prompt the Jungle Cruise skipper with their spiel ahead of time, like when you're going through the falls.
So
what do
basically-
you call this?
No, basically you're playing a Rocky Horror Picture Show on Jungle Cruise.
exactly. What you call this? It's the backside of water. Actually, there are a number of attractions in which you could do that.
Yeah, Star Tours. Star Tours comes to mind as one. Also.
Yeah, you could ask a question that then gets answered by either the cast member or the spiel.
That's right.
What could you do on Haunted Mansion?
One that I don't think it's against the rules. I will say this. Try to, when your cars are backwards, to
Jump out. No,
knock on the car in front of you. In that case, like on the back of it.
I do that. I try to scare the people.
Yeah, you try to scare the people in front. You
Really?
know?
Yeah.
Because
I've never considered not keeping my hands and feet inside the
Well,
vehicle.
that's why it's kind of in the gray area. But everyone does.
when it's coming down the hill, the tip
right
of the
next
other
to
car
yours.
is right in front of it. It's right there.
Yeah.
So you really don't even have to stretch. But hopefully you do it to somebody you know and not
Yeah,
somebody
exactly.
you know.
So I don't want to divert us from the topic or give myself my own hydrolator moment, but it was not too long ago, like in the last few years, when I realized, when you turn around and you go down, you're actually leaving the Haunted Mansion and going outside. It never occurred to me that what the graveyard scene was actually, I never bothered to think about it, that it was
outside the building physically.
outside the building. Yeah, that you're actually going down. I didn't realize that.
I don't know if I realized it, but I also didn't. I don't think I also, at the same token, believed that we were in the building. I just, it's Disney World. Facades are.
I have one, Matt.
Yes. Mike.
In Splash Mountain, when you're going up for the drop, the big drop,
Yes.
and just as you're going up, and they're well, now it's time to go to your happy place or whatever, you start singing "Zippity Doo Dah," and then you try to sing it all
The
the way
entire
up
way
to
down.
the top and all the way down.
Well, there you go.
You definitely couldn't keep your eyes open in that ride because the water's splashing around.
Yeah, it's
I wonder,
pretty
is there a ride that's so short that you could hold your breath on it the entire time?
Probably.
Like Space Mountain's only like 90 seconds. I mean, that's still kind of Olympic caliber.
Everest isn't that long, is it? 75 seconds, maybe.
It'd be pretty tough though with the stop though in the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rock and roller coaster. Rock and roller coaster.
Holly River
Turning
Rapids,
blue, kind of passing, head lolling
You
around.
can't hold
right?
your breath that long.
Holly River Rapids is pretty short.
Not short enough to hold your breath.
No,
Yeah,
not,
no, I don't think
It's
so.
longer than those two. I was thinking like Dumbo or something, but Dumbo's probably a minute and a half too.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to. You'd have to have some lungs of steel there in order to do that.
You could get character autographs and ask them about the films that they were in. That's always fun. Chip and Dale, love their
Right.
films.
Right.
How about you're on Everest, and from the moment the car leaves the station, you have your hands up, you have your arms up
Ooh.
for the entire.
I'm thinking in August that's just not a public service thing to do, especially like in the afternoon. That's just Peeling paint off the
How about attending Flights of Wonder with a bow and arrow or a crossbow?
a net.
I went with the net one
With a
time.
net.
She sat right next to me.
Oh, that's a scope of joke right there. Noel.
Boo.
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 Come on. We're not even at 10 minutes yet. Come on.
What can we do at the studios? What can we do at Star Tours?
Well, the Rocky Horror Picture Show idea, I think, is good for that one also.
Applicable everywhere.
Yeah.
I got one.
Yes.
During a Citizens of Hollywood skit, put on your own skit.
Start your own competing skit.
Well, all you need is someone to say Niagara Falls, and you can pretty much go to town.
Niagara Falls.
That or just pretend to be a mime. Like when someone asks you where you're from and what you do, just start being a mime. Just people would.
Yeah,
Stuck
people
in a
would love
box.
that.
Oh my
Yes.
god, that'd be so funny. God. That'd be funny. So
Well, at Spaceship Earth, trying to predict where you'll get stuck, what scene.
No, yeah, well, that's true. But you know what I did the last time by accident, but it turned out to be a lot of fun, was choosing a different language on Spaceship Earth.
hysterical.
We chose Japanese, and it was quite amusing. Because the narration's in Japanese, too, not just the screen.
Right.
Everything's just
I was turning
Actually,
Japanese. I really think
funny
so.
thing is if you know the English version really well,
Nothing?
you can kind of follow along in almost any other like not in Japanese, but in any sort of Romance language, in French or
Latin-based.
Latin-based, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Unless you're into romance.
That was my this was my thing. So on Great Movie Ride, so remember we said before it's the Great Movie Ride of Death, right?
Right.
In a previous episode, we talked about how much violence there's. So I was going to turn it into a drinking game. I'm rewriting the review for the next edition of the book.
He's going to be a flask on there.
I was going to make it into a drinking game where you drink every time you see a gun, an act of violence, or you can name a scene in the movie where someone dies. But then I thought number one, you can't bring drinks onto the show. But so my idea now is you go on the ride with your significant other and you kiss every time you see a gun, an act of violence, or you can name somebody dying in the movie.
That'd be like Tunnel of Love then.
I'm serious. Could you make it through the finale? I don't think you could. It'd just be like one long PDA.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say is at the Great Movie Ride, this isn't really going against the show topic, but when the gangster or the cowboy leaves the vehicle to go get the loot over there, yelling to him, "It's a trap!"
or you can stand up and say, it's a grill and a cooler.
That's just anywhere. By the way, that is Stacey Aswad on the.
Yes.
It is Stacy?
It is.
It is.
You didn't know that?
I thought it was, and I thought,
Sure, it's on her.
Why do you think we've been saying that all these last couple of weeks?
So Stacey from Top 7 Must Sees at Disney.
all I had to do was ask her. I never thought of just asking her.
If you have no idea what we're talking about, check the show notes. Philip, I'm sure, has already put a link in to the commercial that you can check out.
I think
But
it's
it's
embedded somewhere.
good.
We actually embedded
I'm
it
going to
somewhere.
ask her. I'm gonna
Classic.
send-
It's on her website, too.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
What about at the water parks? Can we do anything at the water parks as a challenge?
Try to keep your bathing suit on and
Like, that's true.
Summit Plummet.
Go down those rides backwards. No, that just wouldn't work at all. That's
Just go to every single part of the park with huge flippers.
I would actually say try to go to the water park with one of those old-timey bathing suits from like the 1920s. Not like
How about a wetsuit with a scuba tank and everything?
and water wings. You wear water wings.
Little
be
pinwheel.
Awesome.
Last one. Anyone got a last one?
Miniature
last
golf. You can line up all your putts at miniature golf. If you're a
That's-
pro.
I think that's what everybody tries to do to begin with. No one tries to do badly at that, generally.
Let's see. Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, it's tough with some of these attractions to come up with.
Buzz Lightyear. Oh, I know. Buzz. No, it's not a challenge. Never mind. You could make it like a shooting pistol motion with your fingers and Buzz Lightyear whenever you get stuck. That's stupid. That's not a challenge. Buzz Lightyear with one eye open.
Have you ever noticed how long Buzz Lightyear's fingers are in the animatronic before you load? It's like gargantuan, like gorilla fingers.
No, I'm a little interested that you know that though.
Just noticed that it's
Okay.
man has big hands.
What about on the Tomorrowland Speedway?
Go as slow as you can.
I feel like the old, like adjust your mirrors and just,
Exactly.
What mirrors?
just go as slow as humanly possible.
Pretend that there are mirrors,
You should pretend it's a scenic ride. Stop periodically, admire the scenery, keep going.
That's right. Or, you can all line up in your individual lane so you drive together at the same speed, thus
That's
traffic.
the
there you
challenge
go.
right there. Find a
Yeah.
partner on the same side, then drive at the exact same speed. And you should run it about half throttle the whole time too. That's awesome. What else could you do? We could do the teacups. The challenge is always to spin as fast as you can.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Try to make the other person puke.
But you have to drink something ahead of time, like drink an entire soda and then do it.
Jeez.
I really look forward to the semi-illegal ideas that our listeners will be posting in the show notes after this one.
It'll be awesome. Actually, I like the idea of eating or drinking like a massive quantity of something, like a large soda, and then going on
Yeah.
teacups.
That would be interesting.
Or you could do story time with Bell and then ask questions throughout the entire show. but why is he a beast? But understand.
Or
but why
go-
do you
yeah.
love him?
Attend the Beauty and the Beast show, get front row seats, and
Just ask what's Beast's name. What do you call him?
stand up, turn and face the audience, and sing along with the Beast every number.
Ask him to tap dance. I'm sorry. I thought this was the Al Jolson story.
Or sign the story. I don't know.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us today. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the WDW Today website at WDWtoday.com. For Lentesta, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, I'm Matt Hotchberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.
Once again, this episode was sponsored by Lines, the new mobile wait time application from touringplans.com, found at m.touringplans.com. Sign up with a free subscription, and you'll get access to everything on the application, including wait times for all 4 Disney parks, plus crowd levels, fast pass distribution times, and more. That's m.touringplans.com.